What's good, everybody? It's your Thursday boy, and now it's a little late on the video. Of course, there's always technical complications when you just need something to be done right the first time. But I know that I put up a meme, and I said that would be my video topic, which is be the person you needed when you were younger. And the reason why that's important now more so than ever is I feel like right now we are in such a critical time where we need each other, but we also need decent people. And I know that when we were kids, we had high hopes of, being a profession, like, oh, I want to be a doctor, oh, I want to be a police officer. I remember saying the only thing I wanted to be was kind. I remember that in 6th grade. I wanted to be kind. I was bullied in school and all that stuff, and I didn't want to internalize that anger that I was experiencing and manifest it into reality, which would make me a part of the problem instead of the solution. So, you want people to be gentle, people to be kind, people to be honest in a way that isn't hurtful, and we have the opportunity right now to be that person. We can be that person now that we needed when we were younger. And what I needed when I was younger was a listening ear, somebody to help validate the thoughts that were going through my head, somebody to help guide emotions where at the point I wasn't supported from my own family, and so now we have the opportunity to be that for others. And I do understand how difficult and how hard it can be to try to be the best version of ourselves, especially when we are dealing with our own internalized issues. But I'm noticing now that a lot of people huff and puff and operate fear to get results. And it took me a minute to be done with so many thoughts that helped me foster the fear that I was operating in. Like, I didn't want to say this, I didn't want to do this, I didn't want to ruffle any feathers because I was scared of the backlash or afraid of the outcome. And right now it's not the time for that. Now it's like, fuck it, kick down doors, because that's the way you're gonna break barriers. That's the way you're gonna start setting up healthy boundaries. You have to remove the fear from your life to hit the highest point possible. And I say that because I have to learn that myself too. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't do something like I'll give you an example. I was asked to be the keynote speaker at an event during the Transgender Day of Remembrance, and I didn't do it. And that's not like me, in all honesty. I would do it and share my 2 cents and my story and what I'm about, and when I knew that I was trans, etc., etc. But this year, I didn't do it. And I didn't do it because I was afraid. I was afraid for my safety. I was afraid for consequences that I wasn't really thinking about. Like, for example, being on social media and being active and having my name, which is unique, and somebody finding me and somebody attempting to stalk me. That's the type of shit that's bothersome and worrisome. And it's like, I'm just a little old extraordinary person just trying to make a difference, one mind, one heart at a time. So I'm not sure why somebody would want to go out of their way to attempt to harm me, or attempt to threaten me, or attempt to, you know, it just made no sense to me. But that's what started my fear. Like, there are so many hateful people out there, but truthfully, there's not as many hateful people out there than those who are more loving. So I chose this year to not participate. And it makes me sad, because I do know right now we need all the positive voices we can get out there. I was talking to a friend of mine earlier who was saying, you know, the trans community is what started Stonewall. And it was the trans women who were at the forefront of that riot. Marsha Johnson, if I'm not, I believe that's her name, Martha Johnson. But you know, but the one thing we don't hear of, we hardly hear of trans men. We hardly hear our stories out there, and especially people of color. So trans men of color. Our stories are valid. They need to be heard. They need to be put on the map, because there are other people like myself who are going to grow up needing that voice of reason to help them understand that they are okay. There's nothing wrong with them, you know. So when we think back to our youth, who did we need then? Who did we need? I mean, outside of our family, our mom, our dad, our grandma, our sister, our whoever, who did we need?